guys, welcome back to Paranormal Resident. So I'm here in Roscrea Castle and Damer House. I'm going to show you guys around, and yeah, I had to stop filming in the house, not the castle, so don't worry. Hi guys, and welcome to Roscrea Castle. So originally on the site of Roscrea Castle was a motte and bailey fortification known as King John's Castle. It was not until 1281 that a stone castle was built for the Bishop of Killaloe. It was granted to the butlers of Ormond in 1315, who held it until the early 18th century. The castle managed to survive through the years of Ireland's turbulent history. Just before the Cromwellian invasion, Owen Roe O'Neill, at the head of 1,200 men, stormed Roscrea in 1646 and reportedly killed every man, woman and child. The only survivor was the governor's wife, Lady Hamilton, who was a sister to the Earl of Ormond. She was again forced to play host in the castle to the O'Neills for 3 years, which ended by the guests looting everything in sight, including the women's clothing. In 1702, the Duke of Ormond sold the castle to the Damer family, who built an elegant 3-storey pre-Palladian house in the courtyard. The castle was also used as a barracks for soldiers, and in 1892 the castle became a national monument and is now under the care of the OPW. So guys, walking around this castle was pretty amazing. I did get to talk to the tour guide a bit, and she does believe that there is a ghost in the castle, and it is no wonder with its turbulent history. Walking up these stairs was a nightmare because they're so narrow. They're called trick stairs. So as to confuse guests or confuse like invaders coming into the castle or people who are attacking the castle, so they would not be able to get up the stairs quickly, and they would be in their suit of armor and stuff. It would be very hard to get up them stairs, and it's still hard to this day. So right now we're up in the Great Hall, and this is where they would have dined. This is where they would have parties and special occasions. It was stunning. This castle is very unusual because it does still have the drawbridge. So right now I'm going to show you the actual workings of the drawbridge, which is, this is how the gate opened and closed, and originally it would have been here in the castle. So it was a very fortified castle, very well protected. There was a lot of areas in the castle that we weren't able to go to, which was a bit of a shame, but we got to go to the 3rd floor, which in a previous visit was under restoration, so I wasn't able to go. You can see the ceiling is amazing. It's all these arches, absolutely beautiful. So the castle was in disrepair, and it has been, a lot of restoration has took place, as in the floors were put back in. They used old oak, and they used the traditional method of the way they would have built it back in the 1300s, 1400s. The fireplace was magnificent. I never seen such a big fireplace. It was so cool. You could fit like 20 people in it. But of course, back in the day, there had to be a big fireplace because the castle would have been incredibly cold, and this is where they would have spent their evenings and celebrated, where every occasion would have been. The head of the castle would have sat at the top of the table. There's also a minstrel's gallery, so over in the corner there, there is a little area where a musician would have come, entertainment for the guests. So right now we're up on the 3rd floor, and as you can see, there's tourists around, so I couldn't talk and film at the same time, so I'm very sorry for that, guys. But the 3rd floor is where the kitchens would have been, and also where they would have slept, because you can tell there's so many different fireplaces. Originally there would have been 2 floors, so that's why you see a fireplace in midair. But it was really, really, like, it's one of the most, and I think it is one of the most best kept castles in Ireland, that the condition is just so good. And right now I'm just overlooking the courtyard. You can see Damer House, which was actually a place for a hospital and a barracks during the times. Here is a model of Roscrea Castle, which is really cool. And up there where you see that little banister is where they would have slept, because the fireplaces would have heated the room and they would have slept in behind the fireplaces. So very, very clever, and overlooking the village. That's just a coffee shop outside. The model was really cool. So the town wouldn't have been there at all. It would have been just pure countryside back in its heyday. The roof was amazing. The gable ends are still exist, which is quite rare for certain castles. This castle is also thought to be linked to Lep Castle, which is very interesting. And here you can see some dice. These are all artifacts that were dug up around the castle. There's a bone comb. There is a spearhead. And also some, what's that? Jew's harp. I'm not sure what that is. Very, very cool. There's some musket balls and some 17th century clay pipes for tobacco. So very, very cool, guys. So up on the third floor, it was really, really cool. There was a lot of deaths in this castle. There was a lot of war. Ireland has an extremely bloody, bloody history. It was by no means kings and queens and princesses and, you know, royalty. It just wasn't really like that. It was more so they would want to take the land. They would build their castle in case they got attacked and someone else wanted the land. And it was a way to show power and status to build all these castles around Ireland. That's why Ireland is flooded with castles. Most of them weren't even lived in. This particular one was, which is, you know, a lot of them were lived in, but they weren't lived in by kings and queens. They were lived in by soldiers and their wives and their children, and family life would have gone on in these castles. You know, it's fascinating, and they had to be ferocious. They were constantly at risk of attack. They had to be ready. So that's why soldiers were there. That's why it was basically like a protection for the town. Yeah, it was really, really, really awesome castle, guys. And I would love to go back at night, but sadly it's owned by the state and they don't allow things like that. So right now I'm walking into Damer House, which I was not allowed to film in. I'm not sure why. I think it's because of the expensive furniture or something. I'm not too sure. But guys, you didn't really miss much. There's not much to see in Damer House. It is pretty cool. It's done in the Queen Anne style, and that's why the windows are so large and they let a lot of light in. The staircase was very cool. It's the only reason Damer House was actually, they were going to knock Damer House, but they decided not to. Yeah, so guys, stay tuned for the Ghost Tube session. Here we go. Sneak into one part of the Damer House and we're going to do a little Ghost Tube session, and hopefully nobody comes. So this is just like
William.
Okay. Hello, William. The EMF is quite high. Could be the lights though. So we have some high crosses here. This is the one from, I was actually at the cemetery not too long ago on my channel and our graveyard, and this is what the cross would have looked like, and that's what it looks like today. So, but yeah, I'm going to walk around the grounds and see what we can get through on GhostTube. Okay guys,
Walter.
So, Walter. I'm just outside the castle and Damer House, and I'm just going to go into the gardens because I'm not too friendly about filming here, but who cares? We're still on the grounds of the castle, so a lot of fighting would have went on around this area. So I'm going to show you around the gardens of GhostTube and see if anything comes through. I'm not really sure why I wasn't allowed to film in the house. None of the furniture was original. Telling you the truth, guys, it wasn't that good anyway. But the castle was pretty cool, so.
12th century.
The castle is 12th century. See it there in the distance, guys. So it is. This is 12th century. It's 12th century, just going through. Yeah. So that would have been another part of the castle there. So that
Mirror,
guys,
Australia.
Mirror, Australia. That's an arrow slit. So I did get to go on all the floors of the castle. The castle is very, very cool. These are just outside walls.
Robert.
Robert. Hello, Robert. How did you die? What age are you? It's a massive holder. So that is Damer House, and it is connected to the
Hammer.
castle. It's a very cool house. You're only allowed on the first and second floor, and we were in the kitchens. But again, guys, I wasn't allowed to take footage, which...
Jennifer.
Oh, Jenny, you got into my video. Not really sure what this is, guys. Probably just like part of the sewage or something, maybe.
Patient.
Yeah, so Damer House, guys, was actually for tuberculosis when it was
Christine.
opened. And it would have been a very
Politician.
a lot of people would have died of tuberculosis from here. Not really sure what's down here. I'll have a look. I'm not sure what that is. Creepy. It looks like a bat or cellars, definitely. Very cool. Locked, as per usual. Okay. Just back at the Damer House. So, okay, guys, I'm going to end that ghost tube session there.
Gerald.
Okay, Gerald. So, thanks so much for watching Paranormal Resonance, and until next time, bye.